one more detail about the battery charger, it actually comes with a lighter adapter for charging it from the car.
Very nice.
So you can see there's a little tiny plug on the top of the battery adapter there. So if you want to charge it from the car.
Plugs right there.
So that's what that's for. All right, let's see. Set that aside. And this is the for plugging it into the TV if you want to watch the video that you've done
on
the TV. So you've got the standard TV plugs on one end, and on the other end is something that looks like a headphone jack.
Does this come open?
Yes. So here on the side of the camera is this plastic thing. You just pull it off and just yank it straight out. Can't break it. Well, you could, but don't worry about it. So now you see you've got a couple of different plugs. The yellow one, and they're labeled on the outside of this thing. That's where the labels are. So AV for audio video, mic, and DV, so for digital video. That's how you connect it to the computer. So the yellow one is where this jack will go in.
Because it has a little yellow thing.
Exactly. And then the other end goes into the TV, and so when then it can see your tapes when you play it back, or even just the camera as you're shooting. And for later use, I'll talk you through how to. Are
you going to show the little memory card?
No, that's not, because that's for my camera.
Oh, it's for your camera.
But
Dianne.
This is for getting video onto the computer, for doing editing on the computer. So that'll be a future tutorial. But now.
But does she have that cord?
Actually, I don't think so. So you will need a FireWire cable to make that work. Again, for a later tutorial. All right, set that cable aside, and now let's look at this cool microphone.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Everybody happy?
Yep. Oh, we're great.
Yeah.
So you can see at the other end of the cable.
Oh wait, I unplugged it. I mean, I this thing.
So again, it looks like a little mini jack, so that just plugs right in there.
Where it says mic on the outside of the.
So now you've got a microphone that can be separate. Now, you may notice a little hitch.
But this has a microphone already.
This has a microphone into it. Well, the benefit of this microphone is that this is a higher quality directional microphone. So if you hold it, like if there's noise in the room and there's people all around us talking, but you just point it right at me, you're going to hear me much more clearly, and it's going to block out a significant amount of what's around you.
This could be a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, it's not that magical, but it makes a difference in making it sound reasonable. Now, and
there's an on-off switch on there. Pretty clear.
Glad you pointed out. There's an on-off switch, and also if you look under the, could you lift up the windscreen there? Slide it up, the little microphone con. The microphone.
Should I plug it in again?
Not so. Well, that's okay.
Oh, you know what? You need to show the long and short.
Right. So we saw the on and off switch, and then so when you pull off the windscreen a little bit, long and short under here, and probably basically the noisier something is and the more focused you want it to be, you put it on long, and if it doesn't matter as much, or if people are kind of closer to the camera and you care about what they're saying, put it on short. And probably the best way is to experiment to see what the difference is. When in doubt, probably put it on short. Or don't use it at all if you're really in doubt. Oh, and let's be sure to turn it off, because when we're not using it, because I did put a battery in there.
Oh, there's what kind of battery?
It's kind of stiff. You unscrew the bottom part. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing I want to demonstrate. So at some point this battery will wear out, and all of a sudden it'll stop working.
Oh, look at it. Okay.
And you'll need to replace this AAA battery.
AAA.
There's a spare AAA battery in your kit.
But it doesn't feel like it necessarily is in there.
Right. You wouldn't know it was in there if we didn't point it out to you. Also, the instruction manuals for all this stuff has come with. So we can screw that back on. And the one thing that we may notice that will now draw your attention to is, let's get that camera. One of the things we talked about, with Dianne and I talked about, is that when you're using the microphone, sometimes you'll be using it in an interview kind of style, and sometimes it'll be we'll mount it on the camera so that you can just have a better directional sound. So, but how are we going to mount it on the camera?
How are you going to do that?
Well, first of all, that's what this clip is for, first step. So you can clip the microphone into that.
Like that?
Yeah, and just push straight down on it. Just clips right into both of them. All right, but now what are you going to do with that hot shoe? There's no
There's
no
not hot
place to
shoe
put it.
there.
So that's what this thing is for.
Oh, see, this is good.
Right. So this is like a tripod screw. So first put this on the camera. Or actually no, since you've got that, just put that hot shoe on here and face it the other way. And it doesn't even have to go in too firmly.
Or this way?
I think from, oh yeah, you can see this little stopper there. So yeah, from the front.
End?
Yep.
Because you can mount it too.
And so again, this is a very stiff connection here.
Oh, it is.
So you're just you have to force it a little bit.
That's so pretty.
It's okay. It can handle it.
Okay.
All right. And so once you've got that on there well enough that it's not going to fall off, then you can screw the tripod mount onto the camera. So we turn over the camera. All right.
And then what do you do with this?
All right. So this screw
goes right
in.
There.
Oops. Got it right into the tripod hole.
Yes. Okay. Right here. There's a screw.
Yep. Go ahead and tighten that up. And before it gets fully tight, put it off to the side, the handle side.
Right.
And now go ahead and tighten it up some more.
And then you can hold it that way.
Right. So now it's also a handle for your. It's your camera gun.
Look at that.
Here, turn it all around so we can see it from all angles. There you go. See. So that. Okay. And of course we'd remember to.
Oh yeah, that would be plugged in.
We would plug the microphone in. All right. So that is how the bracket works.
Here.
Now, here's your tripod. Quick look at the tripod.
Is this the same bracket for the tripod?
Well, you can still use...
Oh, because there's look at that. Look how clever they are.
They've got a hole in the bottom of this bracket so you can still put it on the tripod. So the way the tripod works, classic tripod design, where you tighten this and it locks it up and down. This big wheel here on the side locks it so you can go left and right, and then now that locks it so that it won't move. This here is the quick release. So this is spring loaded. So once, now can you grab that plate, just lift that off?
Oh yeah, so you can take your camera off.
Right. So now the funny thing is, go ahead and put that back in while I hold this open. It's a little tricky putting it in. You kind of got to wiggle, like it kind of catches on the way in.
Because of this thing being in the way.
It's a kind of a funny design, but it works all right. So pull that off again. And so now you can just screw that.
Wait a minute, I gotta close this a minute.
Into the bottom of the bracket. So, exactly. And so you want it to be facing the other way, like you have it perpendicular, exactly. So you want to get that, and a trick to getting it. Well, you got it nice and tight. You don't need a trick.
What is the trick?
The trick to here, you hold the camera. For getting this tight is to kind of get it finger tight, like if you want it to end up this way, right? So, not this way, but this way. So you get it finger tight with it, still turned off to the side, and then turn the whole thing, and it gets tighter. Like you use this to turning the thing to get it tighter on. So once you've got that,